The echo of black pages. The library stood like a mausoleum of forgotten wisdom, a spectral lighthouse in the city's perpetual night. Marcus, the librarian, a man consumed by dust and books, was its sole guardian. His life unfolded among shelves teeming with ancient tomes, each a portal to lost worlds and forbidden secrets. But there was one book that troubled him more than any other, the Book of Lamentations. Bound in leather as black as the darkest night and adorned with strange silver glyphs that seemed to shift with the light, the Book of Lamentations was a legend whispered among the corridors. It was said to contain the names and stories of all who had died unjustly, each page imbued with the essence of their suffering. Marcus had found it by chance, hidden in a forbidden section, and since then, a chilling unease had settled in his soul. At first, they were only whispers. Faint voices that seemed to emanate from the pages, lamenting forgotten crimes and hidden betrayals. Marcus tried to ignore them, attributing them to exhaustion and the echo of his own solitude. But the whispers grew stronger, more insistent, until they became a chorus of pain resonating deep within his being. One night, while attempting to catalog the book, Marcus noticed something strange. The pages, once yellowed and empty, began to fill with names written in a dark ink that seemed to bleed onto the parchment. Names of people who had disappeared without a trace, victims of violence and injustice, now trapped forever in the pages of the Book of Lamentations. Fear seized Marcus. He knew something terrible was happening, that the book was more than a simple record of the dead. It was a magnet for their spirits, a gateway to a world of shadows and vengeance. And he, as guardian of the book, had become the target of their fury. Soon, the library began to transform. Shadows lengthened and twisted, taking on grotesque shapes that lurked among the shelves. Objects moved on their own, and the whispers intensified into cries of anguish and rage. Marcus felt invisible presences watching him, following his every step, breathing on the nape of his neck with an icy breath. One night, as he walked down the main aisle, Marcus saw a spectral figure at the end of the hall. It was a woman, dressed in rags and with a face disfigured by horror. Her eyes, empty and dark as bottomless pits, stared at him with an intensity that paralyzed him. "Justice," the woman whispered in a voice that seemed to rise from the grave. "We want justice for what they have done to us." Other figures began to appear, specters of men, women, and children, each with a story of suffering and revenge to tell. They approached Marcus, surrounding him, imprisoning him in a circle of despair and hatred. "You are the guardian of the book," said another voice, this time that of a man with a deep wound in his chest. "You are responsible for keeping us here, trapped in this limbo of pain." Marcus tried to speak, tried to explain that he had done nothing, that he was just a librarian. But the words died in his throat, choked by terror and guilt. He knew he could not escape his fate. He had awakened something terrible, something that now sought revenge, and he was the price to pay. The specters pounced on him, dragging him into the depths of the library. Marcus screamed, but his voice was lost in the echo of the black pages, in the eternal lament of the dead. The next morning, the library remained silent, enveloped in a spectral calm. The Book of Lamentations lay open on Marcus' desk, with a new page full of names. Among them, his own. But the story does not end there. A new librarian arrived to take Marcus' place, a young man named David, curious and ambitious. David soon discovered the Book of Lamentations, feeling fascinated by its mysterious aura. At first, David experienced the same phenomena as Marcus, the whispers, the shadows, the invisible presences. But instead of feeling fear, David felt curiosity. He wanted to understand the book, discover its purpose, unravel its secrets. David began to investigate the stories of the names written in the book, searching for clues in the city archives, in old newspapers, in police records. He uncovered forgotten crimes, silenced conspiracies, unpunished injustices. And as he delved deeper into the investigation, David began to feel a connection with the spirits trapped in the book. One night, while reading one of the stories, David felt a presence beside him. It was the spectral woman Marcus had seen, the one who had been murdered and thrown into a river. David felt not fear, but compassion. "I know who killed you," David said in a trembling voice. "I know who took your life and prevented you from resting in peace. Can you help me?" The spectral woman whispered. "Yes," David replied. "I will help you get justice." And so, David became a ghost investigator, using the Book of Lamentations as a guide to solve old crimes and give rest to tormented spirits. With each case solved, a page of the book was erased, freeing the spirit from its prison of pain. But David knew that his task was not easy. There were dark forces that opposed his work, evil entities that fed on suffering and injustice. And the Book of Lamentations, despite its power, was a dangerous tool that could corrupt even the purest of hearts. David continues his fight, facing vengeful specters, secret sects, and indescribable horrors. His goal is clear: to empty the Book of Lamentations, to free the trapped spirits, and to bring justice to those who are forgotten. But he knows that in this battle, the price to pay may be his own soul. And meanwhile, in the shadowy library, the echo of black pages continues to resonate, a constant reminder that justice, even in death, must never be forgotten.